festival day finally arrived. The youths were beating the drums and the ladies danced in. Now it was Zamina's turn. Zamina stepped before the mirror while the other maidens stood in line behind her. She looked at her reflection. Beautiful, flawless. It is her normal, fine face. But everyone in the background screamed because what they saw was totally different. She looked again and still saw her perfect face. Yet the people screamed more. They saw a beast staring back at them. Whispers rose like smoke. The king covered his eyes. The prince opened his mouth wide in shock. Other villagers there shouted, while others ran away in fear. Zamina's smile faded, but the mirror kept lying sweetly to her eyes because she was still seeing her normal face. But wait, how can she be seeing her normal, beautiful face in the mirror while everyone in the background is seeing something different? A beast, an image that looks like a venom. This is not normal. It was all her fault, and she caused it all. Let's see how her reckless lifestyle resulted to her shame, downfall, and disgrace. In a peaceful African village nestled among soft green hills, where the red earth painted every footstep and tall palm fruit trees dropped their ripe bunches across winding footpaths, there lived a young lady named Zamina. Zamina was just 20 years old. She was like a princess sculpted by the gods. Her dark brown skin glowed like the first morning sun after a heavy rain. Her eyes were wide and deep, shining like 2 drops of new palm wine. When she walked through the village, her hips swayed so gracefully that young men carrying firewood would drop their bundles just to watch her pass. Fishermen sitting by the river would forget to pull in their nets. Goat herders would stand rooted to the spot, staring after her beautiful backside until their animals wandered off into people's farms. Everyone in the village spoke of her beauty as if it were a miracle. "Mama, I want to be like Zamina when I grow up," little girls would whisper. "Ah, if only I could marry her," young men would say, wiping sweat from their brows though the wind was cool. Zamina lived with her parents, Papa Ezechukwu and Mama Ifunanya, humble people who worked their small farm by the edge of the forest. They were good and gentle, known for giving leftover yam and palm oil to neighbors who had nothing. Zamina had 2 younger sisters, Olabube and Inkaruka, and a small brother named Chidi. They were obedient, helpful children who rose before dawn to fetch water, sweep the compound, and help Mama Ifunanya at the market. But Zamina? Zamina did nothing. From morning till night, she sat inside her small mud room, the one Papa Ezechukwu built with his own hands when she was born. She would paint her nails, rub coconut oil on her arms until they shone, and stare at her face in a cracked piece of mirror she kept hidden in a raffia basket. Sometimes Oluwabube would knock gently at her door. "Sister Zamina, please come and help Mama pound cassava. Mama's tired." But Zamina would hiss, "Go away. Look at your dry elbows. If I touch that mortar, my hands will be rough like yours." When Chidi, the younger brother, needed help, he would call her big sister to help her, but she always replied in a way that wasn't worth it. "Do you want me skin to be scratched? I'm too soft. I can't do that." That's always her reply. Sometimes Papa Ezechukwu would knock softly, his voice calm but tired. "My daughter, come outside and help your mother turn the drying cassava. The sun is hot for her alone." Zamina would burst into laughter, flipping her hair behind her shoulders. "Papa, my skin is not for the sun. Let Olabube and Inkiruka do that, since they aren't beautiful like me." In the evenings, when the family sat around the small clay hearth sharing stories, Zamina would sit apart, filing her nails or plaiting new styles into her hair. Even when her mother looked at her with sad eyes, Zamina saw nothing. She was so proud of her beauty and believed she was too beautiful. She would say sometimes they aren't worth her presence, and she won't want their ugly faces to be transferred to her. That was how rude Zamina was, even to her family members. But as each day passed, her beauty continued to increase and her heart grew proud and cold. But the people in the village began to whisper behind her back. "Does she think her beauty will wash her clothes? Does she think her pretty face will pound yam for her? Pride is a bird that will one day forget how to fly." Still, Zamina heard nothing. She only heard her own praise echo inside her mind. Beautiful, perfect, untouchable. Days passed as usual and graduated into months, and from the day Zamina turned 21, the dust path to her father's compound never rested. Young men passed by morning and evening, some with bowls of fried meat wrapped in banana leaves, some with roasted plantain tied in raffia, some pretending to help. Her mother fetched water or carry firewood from the bush. They would stand by the clay fence waiting to catch her eye when she stepped out of the house. Some tried to win her heart with small money tucked in folded handkerchiefs. Others brought new wrappers from the market, hoping to wrap her pride in colorful cloth. One day Obinna, the hunter's son, once stood under her mother's mango tree, holding a big roasted bushmeat in one hand and a bottle of fresh palm wine in the other. He waited for Zamina. When he saw her, he tried to present what he brought. He said, "Zamina, I brought you bushmeat, soft, no bones, and sweet wine. I want you to taste how serious my love is. I want you to be my girlfriend." Zamina stepped out, wiping her fingers on her wrapper. She looked at Obinna's dusty feet, then at the roasted meat, then she smiled and waved her head and said, "Obinna, look at your mouth, big like the drum you beat in hunting festival. Yet you brought me one small piece of meat? This bush meat cannot even satisfy my dog. And this wine? Keep it. I don't drink from calabashes that smell like your sweat. You looked at me from head to toe, and you brought this small thing. My beauty is worth more than this." She turned and went inside, leaving Obinna standing there. Obinna simply started eating the meat bit by bit as he was now returning to his house. Days later, Ikenna, a trader from the city, came with a fine new wrapper tucked under his arm. He found Zamina sitting outside plaiting her hair. "Zamina, this wrapper is from Onitsha Market. The city girls are fighting for it, but I want you to wear it for me alone." Ikenna is from the village, but he based in the city. He had come all the way from Onitsha to search for a wife, and Zamina caught his attention, and he decided to try her. Zamina smiled and untwisted the cloth, shook it out, and eyed it up and down. "Oga, so you want me to wear this wrapper so that when they see us together, people will wonder how a fine cloth is following a man with slippers that look like leftover chewing gum? Just because you came from the city. Beg, buy shoe first before wrapper. In fact, use the little money you have to eat first before trying to impress me." She dumped the cloth on his chest and continued making her hair. Nana, the palm wine tapper, filled a clay pot with sweet fresh wine and came singing at her gate. "Zamina, Zamina, my wine is as sweet as your smile. Drink it and drink my love." She came out slowly, rolling her eyes. "Nana, if I drink your wine, my stomach will smell like your sweaty armpit. Keep your sour wine. I'm not thirsty." All over the village, the boys gathered to gossip like old women at the market square. "Did she insult you too? Ah, she told me my palm wine is smelling like soakaway. She said my slippers are crying for help. She said my face is like a burnt yam. She said I look skinny and I should first eat before talking to her." That was the type of insult she always gave to the innocent young men that came after her. "She thinks she's a queen," they muttered. Let the prince of this land come and carry her away. Maybe then the rest of us can breathe." And truly, she was waiting for the prince. Zamina didn't care. In her mind, the young men that came after her were nothing but market noise. Her eyes were fixed on the palace gates. If the prince didn't come for her, she would wait until her bones turned old. But she would never lower her pride for any man with dusty feet. 2 months passed. Then the moment Zamina has actually been waiting for all her life finally came. The town crier's gong rang like thunder on a dry tin roof. He dragged his dusty feet past mud huts and sleeping goats, sweat trickling down his forehead like palm oil on hot yam. "People of Umudim, I greet you if you are a single lady. Hear now, ooh, hear ooh," he bellowed, voice rough like a market woman's quarrel. "By the order of His Royal Highness, all maidens must gather in 7 market days. The mirror of the gods will judge true beauty. Whosoever appears good on the mirror will marry the prince. As you've heard it, spread the gossip." Children scampered behind him. Old women paused their melon seed, whispering fresh rumors. And men at Mama Nwakego's palm wine shed nearly spilled their calabash cups trying to listen. But no ears burned more than the maiden's, and no head swelled bigger than Zamina's. Zamina sat under the mango tree near her father's hut, her long legs stretched out like she owned the land. Her skin glowed like new clay pot, wrapper bright green, beads stacked on her neck like she was already the prince's wife. Her sisters, Ime and Chidinma, sat on the bare ground, cutting bitter leaf and throwing small glances at their proud sister. Chidinma, her young sister, said, Sister Zamina, did you heard the town crier? You must stand before the mirror too. Zamina hissed, flicking her fingers. My friend, close your mouth. Who in this village will stand near me? Is it a Daugo? The one that her neck is long like dried okra? Or is it Ijoma? That one looks like she bathes once a week. Let them come. The mirror will laugh. We all know I'm the most beautiful in this village, and the prince can't stand my presence once he sees me. At Mama Nkechi's market stall, the gossip pot boiled hotter than pepper soup. Ngozi and Ijoma huddled near the pepper pile, half seller, half gossip. Ngozi, are you going for the mirror? Ijoma asked, her voice low. Goke, with this my big forehead? A bego. I'll stand there and the mirror will say, shift, madam. Imagine you. You will not even try. Hey, don't advise me, I beg you. Why don't you go and try? They burst into laughter, earning a side-eye from Mama Nkechi, who snapped her chewing stick. Gossipers whispered gently. Ijoma rolled her eyes. But I think Zamina will win. But did you see how she told Obinna his mouth smells like burnt snail? And insulted the men that came to her. Ngozi slapped her thigh, snorting. She told Okoro the tailor his trousers looked like they were sewn by blind rats. Ewo! They laughed so hard Mama Nkechi's tomatoes nearly tumbled off the mat. Meanwhile, Zamina sat at home. Legs crossed, nails painted with local dye. She didn't pound yam. She didn't sweep the compound. Even when her mother, Mama Ifunanya, dragged the broom near her feet, Zamina only lifted one leg lazily. Zamina, this festival will humble you. You sit here like carved wood. Have you helped your sisters? You don't cook. You don't fetch water. Zamina yawned, checking her reflection in a broken mirror shard. Mama, stop shouting. When I marry the prince, you will have 50 servants. Even you will rest. And you will stop disturbing me. Papa Ezechukwu shifted on his raffia chair, tapping his pipe on his knee. My daughter, pride is like a fat goat. The day it trips, your roof will break. Better sweep the compound now before the mirror sweeps you. Zamina blew him a kiss, clicking her tongue. Papa, the mirror will bow when it sees me. Finally, the 7th market day arrived. Hot, restless, expectant. The market square overflowed. Drummers pounded beats that rattled windows. The smell of fried akara, goat meat, and fresh palm wine tangled in the air. Mothers dragged daughters to the gathering, tightening beads, smoothing down stubborn hair. Under the udala tree, the sacred mirror of the gods sat on a carved stool, its round face hidden under a fresh plantain leaf, tied with strips of palm frond. The native doctor, Ogwefi Anikwe, stood guard, his bare chest streaked with white chalk, his eyes narrowed like a hawk. Ngozi and Ijoma squeezed through the crowd, both pretending they were just there to watch. Ijoma nudged Ngozi. Are you dancing in? Ngozi hugged her wrapper tighter. God forbid, I'm shy. The drummers changed beat. One by one, the maidens stepped forward, dancing shyly, beads jingling. Some smiled, some trembled. Mothers ululated. The prince's guards watched, arms folded. Zamina was the first to dance, stepping forward as if her feet never touched ordinary earth. Her wrapper shimmered with green and gold. Coral beads wrapped her neck like a python. She flicked her hair and smirked at the other girls. One old woman near the front whispered, if pride could cook soup, this one would feed the whole village. May and Chidinma hid behind Mama Ifunanya, their mother. The drummers thundered. Ogwefi Anikwe raised his staff. People of Umudim, the gods shall speak now. He untied the palm frond slowly. The plantain leaf fell away, revealing the mirror's shiny face, ringed with cowries and tiny bells that tinkled like mischievous spirits. Zamina stepped forward, waist swaying like ripe palm fronds. She lifted her chin so high it looked like she was smelling the clouds. She did not know the same mirror she trusted would soon show the whole village that beneath her glowing skin lived something uglier than any cracked pot. Zamina stepped forward before the mirror of the gods, her wrapper shimmering like new palm fronds in the sun. The drummers paused. Even the wind seemed to hush. Behind her, the other maidens stood in a crooked line, some biting their lips, others peeking from behind their mother's wrappers. Zamina tilted her chin high. The prince leaned forward. The king's face tensed. The native doctor, Ogbuefi Anikwe, circled the mirror, chanting, "Let the gods reveal truth." Zamina peered into the polished glass and smiled. Her smooth, dark brown skin shone. Her eyes sparkled. Her teeth gleamed white like fresh coconut meat. To her, the mirror sang praise. Flawless, perfect, queenly. But behind her, a scream shot out like hot oil on bare skin. An old woman near the front gasped and covered her mouth. A young boy shrieked, "Oh, whoa, it's a monster!" and bolted under the elder's bench. Zamina blinked, confused. She turned halfway, lips curling. "Why are you people screaming like goats?" She looked again. The same beautiful face stared back. Lips plump, eyes round, skin smooth. But the villagers saw something else. The reflection that bounced back at them was not Zamina's perfect face, but a twisted beast with sunken eyes, cracked lips, crooked teeth like bad cassava, skin crawling with shadows. Whispers rose like bushfire smoke. "Chai, is this not the same Zamina we hailed? Pride is a sickness. See how it has eaten her. Hey, my heart, the gods have shamed her." The king covered his eyes with his beaded hand. "I cannot watch this shame." The prince's mouth fell open, words lost in his throat. Mothers grabbed their daughters' arms. Some ran away, skirts flapping like frightened chickens. But Zamina stayed frozen, locked in her false beauty. She tilted her head, wiped her eyes with her beaded hand. Still, the mirror showed her fine skin, but the people's eyes refused to lie. Ogbuefi Anikwe struck his staff to the ground. "Behold, when the heart rots, the face will rot too. This mirror shows the truth to all, except the proud eyes that refuse to see." Zamina's smile quivered, then died. She spun around, her eyes wide like a trapped bush rat, searching the prince's face for comfort. But the prince only stepped back, shaking his head. The drummers started again, soft and mocking, a beat that sounded like laughter mixed with thunder. Behind her, the maidens sighed with relief. Ngozi hissed under her breath, "Queen of insults, see your crown now, maid of thorns." Some villagers wept for her, others turned away, but the mirror never lied to the village, only to the girl who believed her pride was her beauty. Zamina stood frozen, staring at the mirror of the gods that still lied sweetly to her eyes. But everyone else saw the beast she truly was. Every other median checked their face, but it didn't sparkle. Then quietly, a humble lady no one knew stepped forward. When she looked in the mirror, her reflection sparkled like morning dew, pure, clear, beautiful, inside and out. The villagers cheered. The prince lifted her hand high and said, "This is the wife the gods have chosen." As drums rolled and ululations filled the air, Zamina stayed alone in the dust, her pride shattered like a broken pot, her fake beauty worthless. In Umudim village, they say till today, a mirror never lies to the world, only to the eyes that refuse to see. This story applies to your life too. Are you beautiful in face and body, but your heart is full of pride and insults? Remember, the mirror of the world will always reveal who you truly are. Don't let your beauty cover up an ugly spirit. Please tap the subscribe button below for more intoxicating African folktales. Don't forget to like and share.